Willkommen, bienvenue, come on in. Welcome to Shickmo Show. So guys, apparently Harper, who I mentioned to you guys in the original video that I made, so what you could call the first episode, apparently he didn't think I did a good enough job, and apparently he decided to kind of come and be in this one. If you hear purring in the background, I'm sorry. I don't know if he's happy or if he's inches away from basically murdering me because I'm doing such a bad job. So we'll see how that goes during this video. So, episode 2. What are we going to do? Harper's going to lick his tummy. But what I'm going to do is actually talk to you about cutting the cord. So I, a little while ago, wrote an article about cutting the cord. My wife Shannon, who I mentioned before, and I cut the cord a little while ago. It was pretty awesome. It was a great idea, and it saved us quite a bit of money a month. And not only that, it also empowered us to use our own hardware and not have to pay surcharges for renting devices from Comcast or Verizon or insert ridiculous, duopoly ISP here. That's a rant for another day. So anyways, we have our own awesome router, and matter of fact, in this video, I'll even show you a link to that router. I had recommended it to Brian Lunduke a while ago. He kind of put a call out to, hey, I'm not really a hardware guy. What do I do? As far as Wi-Fi router, I think it might be that. It could be my ISP. It could be both. Ironically, he got the almost the identical router I have, which is kind of awesome. Last I heard, it's working great. So you hear me talk about Brian a few times. So I'm kind of the yin to Brian's yang when it comes to Brian is much more the software side of the world. I'm much more the infrastructure hardware side of the world. So I won't get into too many details in this video about what I do for my day-to-day job, but let's just say I'm very familiar with hardware infrastructure and kind of bolting it all together and making it awesome. And in general, I do get to run Linux daily at work, so I'm extremely fortunate and very, very lucky in that regard that I work for a cool place that is okay with that. Anyways, before I continue to get even more off tangent, today, cord cutting. So let me pull up that article real quick and make this a little bit easier. So basically, this is just shickmo.io. Like I told you before, this is my site. It is made with Hugo, and it's hosted on GitHub, and I actually have Netlify sitting in front of that. So the entire site is SSL, so hooray for security. I care about you guys, and I want to make sure that the site is ridiculously secure and insanely fast. So if you notice that there's not a ton of pictures or lots of glitz and glam, that's actually kind of on purpose. So, however, if anybody has any recommendations, thoughts, or whatever, hit me down in the comments. Or better yet, send me something over on Twitter. I'm Shickmo7. And that would be fantastic, because I'm always looking for better ways to do things. So, you'll see at the top here, there's a little shout out to Jim, a friend of ours, a friend of the family. He asked me to put this together a long time ago, and he was extremely patient. So, Jim, thank you for your patience. And, hopefully this, you guys also find this useful. So anyways, so I am not going to sit here and read this article to you. That's why I wrote it. So if you're interested in reading it in its entirety, come on over to shickmo.io and do that. I am going to kind of whiz through this because this is going to be like a 2 or 3 part series. They're all going to be relatively quick. And it's going to give you just little updates built on top of this original article. So in this original article, I take a look at 3 major services. So Sling TV, Hulu, and PlayStation View. So I'm going to go back up. We'll start with Sling. So basically, that's the price breakdown, $20, $25, or $35 a month. The major differences between them, there's a handful of channels you'll get between the two here in the channel lineups that take you directly to that site, and the different channel lineups based on your package. So, again, I'm not going to go through all of the crazy different channel lineups, but basically, entry level, mid level, as many channels as you could possibly get through Sling. Now, one important thing I will point out about Sling, and I'm going to try and point out one or two things about each, and then kind of give you this is what we went with. So, for Sling, you may not, and realistically probably won't, get your local news channels if you use Sling TV. Now, I actually called Sling support up, and they told me their literally recommended approach for that was, well, go get one of those TV antennas that you can get at like Walmart or whatever. So it's literally the new age rabbit ears for your TV. So I wasn't a huge fan of that. That said, that might be perfect for you. You might already have that. Don't know. If that's not a deal breaker for you, Sling is by far the least expensive. And another big thing that I want to highlight is that Sling is also one of the few places that you can legally get basically the Hallmark channel and Hallmark movies and mysteries. So for a long time, there's been a lot of outrage kind of on the internet. You could just Google like Hallmark channel cord cutters and just kind of watch the craziness. That said, you can get it through them. You have to get at least the $20 a month package, and then you can add the lifestyle package. They have kind of a la carte in addition to these base packages for subsets of things. So for instance, if you get lifestyle, you'll get like Hallmark, you'll get Hallmark movies and mysteries, and a few other channels for like an extra $5 a month. So you're looking at $25 a month if you add that package. They also have specific packages for sports, for international channels, all kinds of stuff like that. So, again, extremely modular, very much a la carte, not a bad way to go. That said, like I said, you're probably not going to have your local channels. So, let's move on to Hulu. So, Hulu, again, it's $39.99 a month. Again, it's just basically a flat fee. It's either that or kind of bust, so to speak. You'll get it with live TV. So the super short version of Hulu is that there aren't as many plan options. It's kind of you take it or you leave it, right? You can add a couple like basic add-on stuff, but it's a lot less modular than Sling. So, here in the article you'll see what, you can add HBO for $15 a month, Cinemax for $10, Showtime for $9, and, you can get 200 hours of cloud DVR, all that good stuff. Okay, that's all great, but there are also other services that, that DVR feature, for example, it just comes with it. So it's more expensive, there's kind of less plan options, and it is probably the youngest service of the three that I'm going to show you here. So all of that said, I don't know. Your mileage may vary. If you got $40, it might be worth signing up for that. All three of these services I'm showing you, Sling, Hulu, and PlayStation Vue I'm about to show you, they all have free trials. So my recommendation to any of you would be check out the supported devices page that I linked to for each of these services. If you have one of those devices, sign up for the free trials and just try them out. I'll be honest with you. That is the best way to go. Because the actual reliability and, issues or buffering things you might run into are going to vary based on the service. And you're really, truly not going to know until you test it. So, a little bit of homework, but if you don't have one of the supported devices, all three of these services have incredibly inexpensive devices that you can get. The least expensive is probably a Chromecast, and I'm using broad strokes there, but I'm fairly certain that all three of these actually support that device. Again, check out the supported devices pages. It will help you. So, that's kind of Hulu in a nutshell. Again, like I said, we're going to just gloss over this a little bit, fly through this. So, PlayStation Vue. So, it is a misnomer that you need a PlayStation to access the PlayStation Vue application. Okay, that is simply not true. So as you'll see, again, it's there are a lot of different options. They're the most expensive service, depending on the package that you choose. However, something else to point out, depending on the other services and the plans that you pick in those services, will also determine how many simultaneous streams you can have on devices, right? So for all of these, you get 5 devices simultaneously. Again, what works for your scenario? If you're a family of 5 and everybody has a device in each room and you all want to watch something different, PlayStation Vue can totally handle that. Now that said, you're probably not gonna get 5 here. Oh wait, it looks like you get 3. So you get unlimited at home, awesome. But if you're on the road with the family, you only get 3. That could be a deal breaker for you, right? Maybe you all go to the beach house down in Outer Banks. Now what are you gonna do? So, again, things to keep in mind. For Sling Up here, you only get to stream 1 device at a time. Ouch. Okay, so compared to the other 3, if you are, going to be streaming to a lot of devices, that might also be a deal breaker here for you on Sling, right? And you need to get, even at their top package, the $35 package here, you still only get 4 devices simultaneously. So PlayStation Vue kind of kicks Sling in the face in that particular feature set, right? So, let's go back down to Vue. So, again, something else that's interesting about PlayStation Vue is that you also get a cloud-based DVR that will save the last 30 days of shows you add to your My Shows list. It's literally a button click on a, in my case, a PlayStation 4 remote. So you literally push a button and it just will add whatever shows that you like to your My Shows list. And it will automatically basically DVR the last 30 days of content. So basically you have 30 days to watch that content. That's kind of awesome, in my opinion. And remember, you're getting that with the price of these packages. So again, even at $39.99, I get the DVR for 30 days. Whereas Hulu here, that's an add-on, right? So that's kind of a bummer here, right? So again, if you want to get the DVR option and not pay extra for it, hey, Vue doesn't look so bad, right? Okay. So another big pro for PlayStation Vue, you will get, very likely, your local news channels here. So if local news channels are important to you, hey, this is probably going to be the winner, okay? And that said, again, let's highlight 5 devices simultaneously. That's fantastic. Now, there is one caveat that I noticed with PlayStation Vue, which is they have an issue with you using a VPN. So, for instance, if you have like a VPN set up on your home Wi-Fi router and whatnot, and that's how you are going to access PlayStation Vue, that's going to be a problem. And I'm pretty sure part of the reason for that is they want to know who you are and make sure that you're not like trying to get it, one over on them. So I kind of get it, but again, if you use a VPN at your Wi-Fi router level, that could be a problem for you. So again, one of these other services might be more helpful at that point. Okay, so again, pros and cons. Like I said, I'm not going to get into tons and tons of stuff. But here's the thing. Right now I have Verizon Fios with my wife Shannon. We have 100 megs down and up, and we never buffer. Okay, like everything's fantastic with the service that we pick. So which service did we pick? We actually ended up going with PlayStation Vue. The reason we did that was we had the local channels, and we also had, the cloud DVR. That was huge for us because Shannon and I have a lot of things going on schedule-wise. So personally, professionally, I mentioned before we have tons of furry kids in the house, both dogs and cats. So life gets a little crazy. So that said, it's really nice to know that we have that DVR option, and no matter what life throws at us, it doesn't matter, right? We can watch that. There's almost never been an instance where we haven't been able to watch something we really wanted to inside of 30 days. So, been pretty great. Like I said, our package is about $64 a month as of the time of recording this. That's fantastic. They recently released in our area here nearly gigabit speeds, and that's about $99 a month. So I think that's overpriced personally. I have a feeling that as that proliferates more, that price is going to come down. So, okay. So I've told you about Sling. I've told you about Hulu. I've now told you about PlayStation Vue. And for us, in our specific use case, PlayStation Vue was the winner. So, now the question is, all right, cool. So, all of you are going to go through, read this article, because you're awesome people, and you are going to determine which one is the best for you. You make your pick. Fantastic. That's the important part, right? So now that you picked a service, you need to figure out which ISP will handle this for you. Now, in our case, we have Verizon Fios, like I said, and for the 100 megabit down and up package, they automatically give you an Ethernet handoff. So what does that mean? What that means is when the technician comes to your home and runs, for all intents and purposes, the internet cable into your house, right? And you tell them what room you want the internet cable run to, they give you an Ethernet cable which looks just like the cable you plug into every other computer you ever have in your life. Okay? So, the cool thing about this is, if you have a Wi-Fi router, and you're only doing internet only, as opposed to their bundle garbage that everybody seems to love to do now with phone and TV and all this other stuff. Well, we don't need TV because we're cutting a cord. And most people have cell phones today, and there are other ways to have more resilient phones as opposed to just digital phonage, old POTS lines, stuff like that, if you still can get them. They're harder and harder to come by these days. Anyways, point is, 100 megabits down and up, they give you the internet cable, you plug it into your Wi-Fi router, and everything's pretty groovy. I'll be honest with you. So, that said, let me show you two options for the routers that I recommend. They are not $1 million. They're a little expensive depending on what your budget is, but you're also not going to have pretty much any problems with them. I also recently looked. These models, the firmware that is out currently, as of the time of recording this, the crack WPA2 vulnerability has been patched in the default firmwares for both of these routers, to my knowledge. So you don't have to worry about that. And both of these routers are open source compatible. So what does that mean? That means that you could flash open source router firmware to them, like DDWRT, OpenWRT, stuff of the like. So that said, you can flash that if you so choose. Now, there are some limitations. I would recommend you doing some research. If you guys are interested in hearing more about that, I can tell you more about it in another video. I think that it's probably worth me doing that at some point. But sound off in the comments. Let me know. This is the 1900 model. So this is 150 right now. So this is the R7000, and that's what I was just explaining a moment ago with open source support. That's what that's saying, right? They also just released this Circle with Disney Smart Parental Controls thing, and it works with Amazon Alexa. So that's good to know too. So this is 150. Now, I will tell you that when I got this, it was not 150. It was about, I want to say this was about $120 on a flash deal on Amazon. So basically what I'm saying is, keep an eye out. You're going to get a better deal, okay? Don't necessarily just buy this on a whim if you can help it. Or if this is too much for you, and again, notice, this is AC 1900. So this is 600 megs on the 2.4 gigahertz, basically 1300 megabits per second on the 5 gigahertz, okay? That said, if you want a more economical option, this is the AC 1750. So this is kind of the R6700. So this is the slightly older brother, but it's also only $100 right now. And even list price is only $130, right? So for $100, this is still a great router. It's going to be $450 on the 2.4 gigahertz, $1,300 on the 5 gigahertz. So you're getting about the same there, right? Now, the hardware is a little bit less powerful here, and that's fine though. Again, if you only have, a few folks in the house, this is probably fine, guys. Matter of fact, I think this is what Brian Lunduk actually ended up going with. But again, you can throw DDWRT on here, and it'll be open source firmware, and you're locked, cocked, ready to rock, guys. It's really awesome. I really love this model personally. I've had zero issues with it, and it's been fantastic. Just nothing but good things to say about it. So, again, mileage will vary, but you guys now know 3 services that you can cut the cord with. You now have 2 potential Wi-Fi routers that you guys can, purchase. One a little less expensive than the other. I have personally tested them. I use that router all day, every day here in the house, and it has been a rock, and I've probably had it for close to a year now. Zero issues. Been fantastic. And whenever we did the little Verizon FiOS speed test, I'm actually getting more than I'm supposed to. So it's fantastic. So, okay. So we talked about those few things. So let's hop over to the Patreon. So it's patreon.com/Shickmo. So the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, or in my case, a single Patreon, who happens to be contributing $4 per month. So, Lou Ferrigno, by the way, awesome name. You are awesome. Thank you for helping me beginning my journey down the road to, upgrading equipment and helping me pay for expenses around here. So that is fantastic. As this list grows, I will make sure that I will call you guys out. So now that I have a single Patreon, so now comes the question. So my question now is, what kind of perks do you guys want? I know some people offer like an audio-only podcast. Is that something you guys would want? If it is, let me know. It's something I can get to work on for you. Do you want live stream so you guys can ask me questions and beat me up, semi-real time? Let me know. Do you want to do, YouTube live streams and stuff like that? Do you guys want me to do that while I'm recording these shows? Is that something that would interest you guys? As the channel grows, we'll pivot, we'll change, we will evolve. Like you saw this week, oh my lord, I actually had a title to the show. Hey, new things. So, again, guys, this is kind of what's going on. And like I said, this is going to be more or less, as I jump around back to the title slide, because I was so excited that I made it. Hooray. It's there. I had to show it to you again. But anyways, as you'll notice, I don't edit. I do not edit. This is all just free form. This is all new to me. It's a good thing. So, anyways, like I said, let me know what you guys have to say. Let me know what you'd like me to do, change, what you like, don't like. Sound off in the comments. If you don't want to sound off in the comments, find me over on Twitter. Again, I'm Shickmo7. If not, shoot me an email. It's ray@shickmo.io. I'm probably going to make one really quick addendum to this video that you guys will see. So instead of having one per each article, I'll probably combine it into just a quick update one in addition to this video. So you'll be seeing that very, very quickly. I'll probably end up releasing both of those at the same time, because there's only one little piece I want to add, but this video is running a little long, so I don't want to slap it all here. But alright guys, hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Without you guys, this isn't possible, so thank you so much. And if you have any questions, comments, ideas for content, things you want to see me cover, what are you interested in? Let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep riffing and doing cool stuff I think you guys want to see. Alright, have a great day. Make sure you learn at least one thing today, and if at all possible, make sure it's open source. Alright, take it easy, guys. Oh, Harper says bye, by the way.